All right, let's see. Good evening, everyone. HD, John, good to see you. That's a pretty good storm that's rolling towards Omaha right now. Columbus, not quite severe. There's a couple there near Ord, Bartlett, Loop City, North Platte. This, look at that spin in that storm. I'm a little surprised it's not still tornadic. It was earlier. It had a tornado warning attached to it, but that, I mean, look at that just going zzz. Yeah, flashes a link. There's storms that are just close enough to Lincoln. You too. We'll see you tomorrow. Everybody's leaving. Oh, wait. I think something. Hang on a sec. I think that's a new watch. Let's find out. Dr. Sabran, how's it going? Oh, look at that. Severe thunderstorm watch until 7 a.m. Jeez. Yep, new severe thunderstorm watch. That's what that is. All right. I should have waited. Now I have to do all this work while you guys watch me do it on YouTube. I feel bad when I have to do all that. But it is what it is. All right, so 7 a.m. Goodness. That's a long time for a watch. Well, 8 hours. Yeah, I mean, that's... Everything's getting posted here, so let me, what do I want to do with this one? Just don't have enough room. There we go. Get the coffee going. Well, here's the deal. My coworker Jessica should be here in about an hour and a half, and then I will be able to go home because I have been up since 7 o'clock this morning. We worried about next round. Yeah, that's why the severe thunderstorm watch was issued until 7 a.m. for central and eastern Nebraska. I could see the tornado threat is not as big, but the really gusty winds potential is. Like 70, 75 miles per hour, a possibility. Isolated tornadoes. Okay, I think that's good. Thanks, Don. Okay, so now Jim, Don, Jim. I am updating the website, the Channel 8 website right now with this new information. Keep in mind there is a flood watch out tonight too. We could see a lot of rain. Where'd it go? Let's see. Uh, 11:37 at night, and a watch was just issued. You know, I'm always anxious for warmer weather after a long cold winter. You know, it's December and then January and then February, and it's just like, okay, let's warm up. And this happens. Like, you know, when it's winter, I get to go home on time. When it's severe weather, I don't. But that's what I signed up for, right? I mean, so, you know, I can't complain too loudly. There's a place for such one. But today is day 8 of days in a row. So, I'm tired. I have 2 more days to go. And hopefully there's no severe weather on Thursday or Friday, because I'm supposed to have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. And you know what happens when I take time off during severe weather season? We get severe weather. So we'll see. Let's see. Sorry, I was missing the... Blizzards are slower than thunderstorms. True. What time do you think the Colorado storm makes it to Lincoln? Probably 4 at the earliest. Probably closer to 6. Chris, you haven't gone to bed yet? What the heck? I was looking for you earlier. What did I want? Oh, there was something I wanted to show you. Now I don't remember what it was. That's all right. No big deal. Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what it was. But I think I figured it out. The bit rate. I was worried about the bit rate because I had like warnings showing up on my YouTube studio. So I increased that. And it seems to be, if anybody sees any weird problems on the video, or if it looks good or whatever, just let me know. Fantasy Hawkeye, what are your thoughts on the idea? I have had a long... Hang on. What are your thoughts on the idea I have had about a longer severe thunderstorm watch and them keeping on extending it through tomorrow afternoon's round? Well, here's how that works. If there's a threat, then they'll have a watch out. But if there's not a threat, then there's no reason to have the watch. So they'll probably let the one cancel for, they'll let the one go through 7 a.m. and then wait until the next one gets close, and then they'll issue another one. Let's see. Yeah, that's Chris. That's what I was thinking too. I'm not sure. It was set at like 1,500 or something like that, so I increased it to like 4,000, and I'm not seeing any warnings or anything like that. So anyway, YouTube is fun. Trying to figure it all out. Ooh, everything's been ordered. That's good news. Okay, I got to get back to this. Hang on. Okay, now it was really weird. Twitter did this whole thing where it like logged me out and logged me out of everything. So I had to sign back into like the Channel 8 and everything else. Posting to Channel 8 right now if you follow that Twitter account. Sorry, just updating some socials medias. Trying to tag myself in this post. Things slow down a little bit when I start to stream on this weather computer. Hint, Chris, hint, hint. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it was really low, and nobody really complained that it was low, but I think my wife said there might have been a little glitching or something like that. So hopefully this is better. Yeah, we need to have a sit down one of these days and just kind of make sure everything's on the up and up. Yeah, this computer could probably use an upgrade. All right, what was I doing? Oh, yeah. There's a warning. Let's see. Oh. Hitchcock and Dundee, severe thunderstorm warning. 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Oh boy. That's something. That's something. Yeah, my computer is definitely slow right now, Chris. Oh, I think I did that. Facebook, there we go. So I saw from our friend Aaron Sorensen on the Twitters that her Omaha meteorologist had rolled up his sleeves. That's isn't that cool to have something that everybody know? You know, when who was it? Somebody, when you roll up your sleeves, you know things are bad. Used to be someone, I can't remember who it was, when they took their jacket off, they knew things were bad. I don't have that. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure I want one. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. Maybe let's come up with some ideas of what I could do that's like, okay, if it's bad, okay, Rusty just has his hands on his hips. I don't know. Let's see. Get those social, probably need one glitch. Yeah, of course, there was a glitch. What is the lowest wind speed for a tornado? I think 75 miles an hour is an EF0. Yeah, my neighborhood road near 108th and Ida in Omaha has turned into rapids. Yeah. I do think at midnight you don't need a tie. It's not midnight, though. 15 minutes left. I know, but I'm afraid I'm going to go on air. So maybe that's it. Maybe when it's really bad, I just take my tie off. Yeah, I met Bill Ramby once. I think it was at the Severe Weather Symposium that Dr. Dewey used to do. Haven't seen him. It's been years since I've seen him. Let's see. Okay. I'm not even sure if I posted on mine about this new watch. I don't think I have. No? Okay. Doing that now. I think it'd be cool to have a background, like a severe weather background with like bells and whistles and stuff. That would be, I really want to do that. Let's see. At least loose. Is this driving you nuts? It's not bothering me. When it's something serious related to weather, just come on air with your hair all over the place in a mess. That would be. I like that one. That's a good one. Let's see. Okay, I got to do one more Facebook here. Mine. So I did my work stuff first. So if my boss is watching. I do have a story about, speaking of hair being messed up. Oh, let me finish doing this and then I'll tell you guys a story. Nebraska severe weather. I post every watch and like SPC Outlook and weather models and stuff like that there. So if you like groups, Facebook groups, Nebraska severe weather. A lot of people have been posting their severe weather pictures too, like hail and lightning and stuff like that. It's I've got about 40,000 people in that, so it's doing all right. What is it? 39,100 is what I'm at now. So let's see. Where did that watch go? There it is. I think I'm just about done. All right, so let's see. What did I miss? You should have an intern doing all the social media. He starts soon. I do have an intern coming, so that's nice. I haven't had one the whole time I've been here. In fact, I only have two meteorologists, me and Jessica, and then we have the part-timer Kent. And I think we have a full-time weekend person hired. Cross my fingers. I do believe the papers have been signed, but cautiously optimistic on that. And then an intern is starting, but really it's just me back here. The hope is to have a weekend person, then another person, and morning person, Jessica, me, and then the intern, and that would be like, and then Kent, that would be like 6 people. That would be awesome. Right now it's just like 2. So this would be so much easier to do if I had interns and weekend meteorologists and everybody else, but as it stands, it's just me. Okay. Taking the tie off. I have to go back on, though. That's Jim's fault. Okay, so what do we have here? Sorry about that. Jeez. Okay, so we have a couple of warnings here. Yeah, it's now midnight. We got 8 minutes. You know, I kind of like the tie thing, taking the tie thing. I like that. Okay, severe thunderstorm warning here just west of McCook. So that is there. So that's Cheyenne, Dundee, Hitchcock, and Rollins County until 11:45 Mountain Time. That's like 12:45 here. Clear that off. Then we go, let's go up here to between Wellfleet and North Platte. That warning is for Lincoln County until midnight. That storm is moving northeast at 35 miles per hour and has quarter-size hail. Then this one, there's a couple of them here. There's that one for Ord, Sherman and Valley County until midnight, 60 mile per hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. It's moving east at 30 miles an hour. And then this one for Garfield and Wheeler, ping pong ball size hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Let's see. That's moving east at 30 miles per hour, so let's clear all those off. Omaha was getting hit pretty hard. They had a tornado warning there for a little while. Not Omaha, but it was close to it, just north. That's for Douglas, Harrison, Pottawatomie. That's my favorite county in Iowa, by the way, Pottawatomie. And Washington, that goes until 12:30 a.m., quarter-size hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Oops. There we go. Zooming out. I mean, for as bad as these storms could be, it's not terrible out there right now. I'm really concerned about that line of storms moving out of Colorado headed towards McCook, because that's just barreling, and that's just spinning around. That's just crazy. Crazy hair idea would be spiking up your hair like the Slim Jim guy. Oh yes, that story. I was going to tell you that story. I felt awful because it was. This is when I was over at the other station, and we always had a monitor that had the other station on there, our competition, just to see what they were doing, because you got to know what the competition's doing. Yeah, there you go, Don. So I'd done a cut-in, and it was just, the storm was rolling through the capital city. This was like a Saturday morning. It was like 10 a.m., and I was able to get into work fast because I just happened to see it pop up. It was one of those quick pop-ups, thunderstorms that turn severe very quickly. And I just happened to notice it before it actually got going, so I was able to get into work and do a cut-in and got done, and I just happened to look over. And the meteorologist, she had just run into the station, and it had been pouring rain, and her hair was just soaked. And she did a cut-in like that. I felt so bad for her, like, oh no, oh, goodness. Another severe thunderstorm warning for Wheeler. That's that one south of O'Neill. It's for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. It's also moving east. If the tie is off, severe weather not far off. You should do commercials. You see the moon. HDYT. Where are you at, HDYT's? Lincoln? Area. Cool. Yeah, it's thunderstorms are like that, where you could see. I've seen it where you see thunderstorms and it's the sun shining at the same time. I mean, it's just that's how it works. Are all of these pockets of severe weather going to coalesce? Great question. I think eventually something has to take over, right? I mean, it just makes sense. I think what's going to happen, and this is going to be kind of interesting to watch. And here, I'll show you. So I think all of this is going to kind of just stay up there and do its thing. Meanwhile, this is just going to roll like that. And so everything is going to, in the circle, are going to be clusters. And I think maybe eventually, like, this is trying to turn into a line. But this thing down here is your main player. So I don't know if that helps, but anyway. Thanks for doing these lives. My daughter loves watching them. She's even asked a few questions that you answered. Sweet. That's awesome, Carrie. But yeah, to kind of go back to that, are these storms going to kind of come together? It is weird to see all of these different clusters. Things like this doesn't happen very, very often. It's just a weird setup. It is a weird setup. Well, it's midnight. I'm sure. Thanks. The storm near McCook looks like it's rotating. Yeah, it is. I'm a little surprised. I think it's so wide that the tornado factor isn't really there. But that's a huge. It's just rolling. I feel awful too, because when I was on earlier, my son, I was telling him I was talking about how I don't get to go home and hang out with my kids, so severe weather isn't my favorite thing anymore. And I think he heard me talking about that because he texted me. I said, "Hey, give me a call when you can. I want to say hi, and I feel bad that you're at work." And it was the sweetest thing in the world. And I didn't see it because my phone is on Do Not Disturb from 9 to 10:30, just because there's so many things going on in the studio, and I just didn't see it. And so when I finally did see it, I texted him like, "Hey, are you still awake?" And he's asleep. So I feel awful. I'm gonna have to go home and wake up before he goes to school so that I can talk to him a little bit and say hi. Yeah, that's the worst part about this job, is away from family for a while. It feels like I haven't seen him in like 2 weeks. Just crazy. But it's part of it. I mean, you look at all the meteorologists that has been doing this for years. Yeah, Beatrice remains untouched, but look at what's coming down the pike along that Kansas-Nebraska border. We'll see. You are on call for weather. Yeah. Well, and if if I had other people that were working here, which I will eventually, I mean, it's coming down the pipe, but I could have, the weekend person here, or a part-timer, or an intern here from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. to cover that way I could go home. If it was like this, I mean, this isn't just anything that, there's no tornado warnings, it's not, detrimental yet. I mean, that could change later, but, right now I'm just babysitting the radar. Can we see a Futurecast? Yeah, we can do that. Let's see. Let's see if anything's updated. Oh, it's starting to yawn. I apologize. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. This one? No, this one. Okay, it is loading. Oh, it's midnight. Uh-oh, okay. At midnight, things change. Okay, I gotta do some, because at midnight it thinks it's a different day. So I have to switch this around. Today at 12 a.m. Okay, there we go. Now I want to change, hang on, we're doing this on the fly. 2, 3, I want to see how far. Okay, I'm just, we're looking at a particular model that updates every hour. I don't know how far. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so this one right here is the latest. So really nothing. Carrie, I'm sorry, I have zero say in it, but I can let people know. Okay, so here's midnight. Storms lingering in southeast Nebraska. They should be into Iowa by about 1:30. Okay, so that's southeast Nebraska, but that line right there that's barreling its way on that Kansas-Nebraska border goes through Grand Island at 2:30, hits the Lincoln area about 4 a.m., Omaha about 4:35, and then it's out. Then we kind of catch a break. And then there's your next wave. That's your between noon and 1 p.m. That starts to get a little hectic there. And then it'll quickly move into Iowa by about probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's that. So hopefully that was helpful, John. Good idea. Thank you for the idea. Let's see how much rain. See, everything changes at midnight, so now I gotta change everything. Is there usually a news person there too during severe weather? Depends on how bad it is. So yes and no. Like right now, no. Okay, I gotta change this to AM. So there's your rainfall potential this is from 3 a.m. to noon on Tuesday. But yeah, there is a news person out there right now getting ready for it's a producer getting ready for the morning show, but nobody else is here. Like no reporters, no anchors. But if there were tornadoes and tornado warnings and, something like what happened a month ago, there's news people here. Even if it was 3 a.m, there'd be a news person here. But this is just kind of run of the mill. So here's your flood watch. And then there's your risk for severe weather. We're in an enhanced risk. Best chance for tornadoes is happening now around the McCook area. If we get good rain here in Lincoln, could this get us out of the drought? What we need are several quarter-inch rainfalls, like over the course of the next month, like twice or three times a week. Quarter inch, because when you get all of it at the same time, it just washes off. So we're getting there. I mean, we had a quarter of an inch this morning, probably another quarter of an inch tonight in some spots. So we're getting there. We're getting really close. It'll be interesting to see on Thursday what happens. Large hail, damaging wind in excess of 75 miles per hour possible with this storm as it barrels east. Stormcast is no good right now. Darn thing. And then this is, so we were watching that one model that showed storms popping up basically in this area right here around noon. So and this says Wednesday, it should say Tuesday. That switching over to midnight thing screwed everything up. So Tuesday, the storms pop like right here, and by about 1 p.m. they're here and they strengthen, and then by the time 2 o'clock rolls around, they're in Iowa over here headed towards Des Moines, and that's where they'll be really strong. So they start in eastern Nebraska, but they enhance and get stronger the further east they go. Okay, back to now. So we have a warning here, warnings here, and then this one here. Everything else is just gravy. This is, I mean, if we're going to see big batch of storms, this is a beautiful thing for those that need the rain. I know we did a story tonight on how farmers can't get their crops planted because it's too wet. It never fails. It's either too dry or too wet. There is no happy medium for farmers. I've never seen a happy farmer. It just seems like it's always something for them. I don't know how they do it. Oops. Whoa. I kind of want to see what this thing is doing. I mean, it looks like it's rotating like crazy. Let's see if it actually is. North Platte, probably. It kind of. I mean, it's that area right there, but it's it's the size of an entire county. So that it needs to be a tighter rotation for anything tornadic. I'm gonna look at a different Goodland. Let's look at the Goodland one. Yeah, I mean it's definitely rotating, but it's so wide and broad that there's no way that's going to spawn a tornado. It's just too big. It's pretty crazy though. Let's zoom out. Oh. Check that out. There's snow in the Rocky Mountains too. I guess that's not such a crazy deal, but still. Strong storms over towards Minneapolis. Let's check that out. Over by Sleepy Eye. Yeah, I wonder what we're going to do when we're not in a drought anymore. There's been so many, I can't tell you how many times I've heard we need the rain. So what happens if we get out of the drought and there's no more drought? People are going to start saying, sure wish the rain would stop. This storm is this one right here. Heads up, McCook. This one right here, that's severe. That's Wheeler County, Omaha. Yeah, Omaha's getting hit pretty hard right now. It's coming to an end. Fremont. I heard some tornado sirens were going off in like Douglas County, and they don't know why. That'll be interesting to see what happened there. Wonder if somebody got trigger happy. So thankfully, it's not terribly active right now. Sure, there's a few thunderstorm warnings, but pretty quiet when it comes to very severe weather, which is, there's still that one storm though. That storm headed towards McCook. Oh, okay. Fantasy Hawkeye, thank you. That would, I mean, that's why you never rely on tornado sirens, because they're outside in the elements. You never know what's going to happen with those things. Braden, thank you. Extreme hail in Yuma. That's a hot spot for severe weather every year. I want to go to bed too. You know what? I mean, I mean, if you're in Lincoln, I would say sure, because it's going to be 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning before this storm gets to us. I mean, we've got a long way to go. So as soon as Jessica gets here in 45 minutes, I'm headed to bed. I'm yawning left and right, so I'm not helping you guys out. Let's see what that update was. That storm headed towards McCook, 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts and ping pong ball size hail. 80 miles an hour. I mean, that's tornado strength. They're in rural Dundee County, but they're destructive. Is the storm likely to strengthen or weaken before hitting Lincoln? I don't think it's going to strengthen because it's got 80-mile-per-hour winds. It might weaken a little bit or stay the same strength. I don't think it'll increase in strength because that would be really bad. But if it stays where it's at, that's bad too. But I think by the time it makes it into eastern Nebraska, probably weakens just a little bit, like 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, maybe even a little bit higher. But what we're seeing now is probably the main thing for this storm system. That one in Wheeler County had an update. 60 mile per hour winds and quarter size hail. It's located near Bartlett, moving northeast. Oh, thanks, DJ. Appreciate that. Big Ten baseball tournament in Omaha will be interesting with all the weather. Yeah, I mean, if you try to play baseball in May in Nebraska, it's a good chance that's going to happen. I miss the snow. I don't miss the snow. I miss quiet weather. Yeah, those storms were something else. Hopefully we don't see anything like that again for 20 years. Seems like every 20 years something like that happens. The Hallam tornado anniversary, 20-year anniversary is in a couple of days. Let's see if I can see what kind of winds we have. 64, 53. I'm measuring these right here and those. It's not very. Yeah, there's a 66. That 66 is right, oh come on, right there. 66 mile per hour winds just north of Binkelman. Not sure if you all know or not in terms of baseball tournaments, but a couple years ago they restructured it, put an extra day in case any bad weather. Oh, that's good. Glad that's worked out. Let's see. Because I mean, it's just there's so much of a potential for severe weather. What did you say next to Crete? Yeah, those storms are popping up. Got a little cluster, a line of clusters right there from near Hastings, Tobias, Wilbur, headed towards Lincoln. We'll see how fast they grow. They're kind of following that other line of storms. What a mess, though, isn't it? I mean, just look at that. I don't like that. Kind of dropping off a little bit there. I think everybody's headed to bed. There are 51 people out there right now, though. That's impressive. Kind of flipping between radars here. Oh yeah, looks like those storms are fizzling out before they get to Interstate 80, which is fine. I mean, I don't really want to do any cut-ins. Your medicine is knocking you out. I'm just tired. Yeah, I really think that storm that's barreling across Dundee County, west of McCook, that's probably going to be our biggest problem. Probably, I want to see something here real quick. Looks like could be a tornado on the ground on the other side of Omaha there, across the river. Let's see what that storm west of McCook, see what Goodland's saying. Still warned for 1.5 inch hail and 80-mile-per-hour winds, which is just 80 miles an hour. That's fast. Seeing reports, oh no, not that. Had a 66-mile-per-hour wind gusts north of Binkelman. Whoa, 93 miles per hour in Dundee County. That was about 15 minutes ago. 93 miles an hour. Wow. 6 miles north of Hagler in Dundee County. So that's a problem. This is what we're talking about, is this storm right here. That has WeatherLink site Brunswick shop. I'm not sure what that. That's crazy. 93 miles an hour. Wow. So yeah, this is that's a dangerous storm. So this is certainly the storm to keep an eye on right here, because that thing is likely just gonna keep chugging along and make its way this way. Wow, 93 miles an hour. What is the main threat in Lincoln in a few hours? Just some scattered thunderstorms. I don't think the severe weather threat's going to be when that storm that's near McCook makes its way east. Zinga Zinga, I like that name. Yeah, very strong winds. DX, did you see the hail in Yuma? I didn't. I zero chance to watch any TV today. But I'm sure I'll see it on the socials or something later. Weather Channel saying potential for severe thunderstorms on Thursday night. Do you think that's right? No idea. I have had zero time to look any further than Tuesday, and barely that. I really hope not. I mean, that means I'm probably going to have to work, and I just don't want to. Today is day 7. No, today was day 8 in a row of working. I still have Tuesday and Wednesday. Both days are going to have severe weather. Wednesday is at a different. It's in Missouri. So I really, I hope there's no severe weather on Thursday. I need a break. Look at the SPC though. What day would Thursday? Today's Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So day 4. Day 4 looks like the severe threat is more Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. That's what the SPC has right now. So I don't know. I mean, it's certainly possible. I really hope not. We need a break. Yeah, absolutely agree, HD. It's got that, if it was about 300 miles wide, it'd be a hurricane. Report from on Twitter, North Wahoo has a little over 3 inches of rain in about 2 hours. That's a lot of rain. That's the flood watch. So let's see. I remember back in maybe 93 or 94, we had 100 miles an hour straight line winds come through York. I kind of remember that. Yeah, tornado outside of Omaha. It's on the other side of Omaha. Sounds like there's some pretty good rotation, possibly. Could be on the ground. It's dark. It's so hard to tell, but there's that tornado warning right there. For Harrison County until 12:45. It's radar indicated, and it's moving northeast at 20 miles an hour. Yeah, these nighttime storms are the worst, especially when they're tornadic or straight line winds like that one for Dundee County. It's usually right about now that I'm heading to bed. Yeah, I think what we're going to see for the rest of the night is this area right here. We'll see isolated severe storms, like a severe thunderstorm warning every now and then, maybe a spin-up tornado. But overall, on the weaker side. Meanwhile, and wind. I think there's going to be a lot of wind, especially as this moves like this. That's a low pressure. This is basically a low pressure center, right? Because it's spinning like one. And so all of that circled area, the wind is going to come after it, like, because I don't know how to explain it. Let me see if I can. I'm going to use this. So wind right now is like this, but it's going to come wrapping around and chase it. So it's going to do this, and it's going to chase it. And that's going to bring, it's called a wake low, and it's going to bring a lot of gusty winds as it tries to chase after that low pressure center. the one in southwest Nebraska, does the storm look weaker in the last few frames? That happens. It'll weaken and then it'll increase in strength and weaken and increase in strength. So, but yeah, it still looks like it's got a lot of spin in it, though. If you're talking about the one over by McCook. But there's only just the one severe thunderstorm warning in Nebraska right now. And that's fine by me. Yeah, looking like a hurricane. Scorpions. If you're my age. Really, this is just kind of, this is what, if you're a meteorologist, if you've been in television long enough, this is what's called babysitting the radar. Because it could go severe to the point where you need to cut in and let everybody know. But most of the time, it's just sitting here watching the radar, just waiting. So this is interesting. This area right here is where everything is unstable. Oh, there's a severe thunderstorm warning. That's still Dundee County. 80 mile per hour winds. Destructive storms for Stratton and Trenton. So I think what's going to happen is this storm right here is going to basically follow that instability area. Meanwhile, all of these storms are fighting amongst themselves, trying to be severe, but they don't have any instability to work with. What's the best made coffee ready to rock and roll in North County later? Okay. What's the best weather story you got while covering? Probably covering Hallam, being on air during the Hallam tornado. There was one in Albert Lee too that was kind of crazy. I saw a video later while I was doing severe weather coverage in for tornadoes. Like I think it was an EF3 tornado that went through Albert Lee. A guy was filming it with his phone while his wife was yelling at him in the basement, telling him, "Get down here." And he's like, "All right, I'm coming." He was so relaxed, so calm. And when he went downstairs, he still had his camera rolling. And I could see myself on their TV. They were watching me covering the tornado that eventually took their house out. It was just crazy. He's kept it rolling, kept his phone going while it was happening. Everything went dark, the power went out, and they had some major damage to their house. That was surreal. Let's see. How is your work schedule determined? I feel like our meteorologists don't get enough recognition for the time they spend standing guard. Yeah, it's I'm basically here from 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. And then our morning meteorologist, Jessica, she's here from 1 a.m. to 1 p.m. During severe weather. Now, if we're the only ones, the only full-time meteorologists here right now, but when we get a weekend person and hopefully another meteorologist and possibly an intern all kicking in, we can split that up a little bit. But yeah, as a chief meteorologist, I try to be here if there's severe weather from 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. Does it print you the warning updates too, or just it can do both, but just the newly issued ones is the ones I have printing out. I don't want to waste too much paper, and I have other ways of finding out the updates. Ever had any interest in doing some storm spotting or chasing? I used to, but then when I had kids and got married, I don't want to do that anymore because you can get hurt. People die chasing storms, and I don't want to do that. So I'm good doing what I'm doing now. I tried to do it when I was younger, but that was 25 years ago, before things are like they are now. Yeah. Yeah. The wives would rather have you home than chasing tornadoes that can throw stuff and throw you around. So really, again, that area just west of McCook, that's your biggest concern right now. That's got 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts, and that's going to probably do some damage. What was that? So if you live in Stratton or Trenton, I'm not sure where that's at. Let's see if I can find those towns. There you go. So those two towns, Stratton and Trenton. Those winds, Stratton right now, Trenton eventually, 80 mile per hour wind gusts. And this is really going to continue to do this all the way through McCook, all the way through Oxford. It's a Husker cane. Yeah, I probably got about 20 minutes left in me, and then I'm going to be heading home. So if you live anywhere between these two lines over the next several hours, make sure you have a way to be alerted, because we'll probably wake up to some damage along that Kansas-Nebraska border. 80 mile per hour wind gusts. I did see a 93 mile per hour wind gust earlier. So I'm sure we're going to see some damage. So let's kind of Palisade, McCook, Cambridge, Alma, Holdridge, Antelope, Franklin. This thing's just going to keep rolling with a lot of wind. Let's see. Do you think the Lincoln market will ever get a third TV station? I'm curious if 2 stations is common. Well, you have Omaha over there too, so that's kind of why. But there's never been a third station, and the second station, which is the ABC one that I work at, has only been here for 30 years, about 30 years, and that's it. I mean, that's not a really long time when you think of, like, WOWT's been around 75 years. Smith thunderstorm warning for Chase and Hayes. That's for 70-mile-per-hour winds. So you're looking at southeastern Chase and Hayes County until 12:30 Mountain Time, 1:30 Central. It's moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Notice northeast. So that may eventually make its way towards Interstate 80 if it continues a northeastern trajectory. Hayes Center, Juanita, Enders, Hamlet, and Area A campground. Some places impacted. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Well, I think some ads are coming up in like 9 seconds. So we'll be right back. What time do I have to be back in the morning? Oh, I'll probably be here. It depends on what's happening. I'll probably come back in at 1. Topeka isn't expecting anything severe. Yeah, Kansas looks quiet. Very quiet. Yeah, you'd have to be near the Nebraska border. So you're fine. Good night, Veronica. Yeah, this is a bad time to be wanting a weather radio. Sometimes they're all sold out. You need to talk to Jessica about streaming live. For those of us awake, it always makes me feel better when I have professional. Yeah, that morning show is a monster. She's on air for 2 hours. So there's a lot going on with that morning show, and me being able to do this is because I don't have a show right now. I don't have a show for until tomorrow, so I'm able to do it. But for her, she's got to get ready for a 2-hour show. That's why we need an intern, or we need a weekend meteorologist to do it when things are happening, so that the main meteorologist on duty can do the TV stuff. Yeah, she's got to come in, do her forecast, create all these graphics, get ready, make sure all the severe weather stuff is taken care of. She's going to have to do cut-ins. She'll have to do the TV stuff all morning. So it's a lot. It's a whole lot for one person. It really is. But it never fails. The next person we talk to will say, "Oh, you have a job that you can be wrong all the time and still keep your job." Yeah, shush. Oh boy, that storm is just hanging on, though, isn't it? Hang on a sec. Let me see something here. I don't know, that right there kind of looks like an eye. Severe thunderstorm warning for Colfax, Dodge, Butler, and Saunders. Quarter-size hail. No. A derecho needs to be a lot longer. There are specific guidelines, and you never know until they survey the damage. But let's see. So by definition, a derecho needs to have wind damage swath extend for more than 240 miles, include wind gusts of at least 58 miles per hour for most of its length. Then it'll be classified as a derecho. So it could be, I guess. I was thinking it had to be longer, but maybe I'm thinking of something else. Sorry, I'm tired. I've been here a long time. There's that other severe thunderstorm warning over there. Linwood, Upper, Fremont, right on the edge. That's for quarter-size hail. These are going to be weird severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's see. Oh, here we go. This is from the Storm Prediction Center. I knew I saw this somewhere. By definition, if the swath of wind damage extends at least 400 miles, is at least 60 miles wide, and includes wind gusts of at least 58 miles per hour along most of its length, and includes several well-separated 75 mile per hour or greater gusts, the event may be classified as a derecho. So there's all kinds of rules, and I think that's 60 mile wide. So let's measure this. I mean, it's getting closer. Where's my ruler? There it is. Yeah, I mean that's 80 miles, but this, I mean that's close. If you only include that, but if you include that. So that's why they have to survey these things, and that's why it's hard to tell if it'll stay a derecho, if it'll stay 60 miles wide. We'll find out. And when it's all said and done, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if it does the damage or it doesn't, does it really matter if it was a derecho? No, not really. Why are people upset with meteorologists when bad weather doesn't happen? That's always been silly to me. Good question, Caitlin. It kind of depends. I mean, I think sometimes some meteorologists like to really hype up the severe weather potential to make sure people are safe and take the necessary precautions. And then if it doesn't pan out, then people are prepared for no reason, and they blame the meteorologist for scaring them. I always try to downplay things a little bit unless I'm darn sure there's going to be some nasty severe weather. Then I'll make sure everybody knows, I don't hype anything up. So I'm kind of the same way with winter weather too. Like if there's going to be snow, there'll be a lot of meteorologists that'll say 6 to 10 inches, and I'm like, maybe 3 or 4. But that's kind of what it is. People get upset for the weirdest reasons when it comes to weather, and I've heard it all. I've seen it all. But if they go out of their way to be prepared for severe weather, then it doesn't happen, and they get mad. Do I think the tornado watch will move to Lincoln? I think the severe thunderstorm watch is a good bet. I don't think the tornado threat is very high anymore. This is turning into more of a wind event, so I think the severe thunderstorm watch they have in place is probably good. And that goes through 7 a.m. That's that. You always do a great job as you work with what is in front of you and keep us safe and informed. If you get a few storms wrong, better be safe than sorry. Yeah, thanks, Adam. I mean, I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I've learned that I have to forget about storms very quickly. And I do. It's just something I've been doing. That way, it doesn't bother me. I can't look back on it because there's so much to look forward to. So I just, what happens, happens. I do my best. I know I do my best. And that's about all you can do. But I appreciate the kind words. I really do. Not bad. We have still 52 viewers, and it's almost 1 in the morning. You guys. Seriously, that's impressive. Of course, I know I'm going to go home and I'm going to walk by my son's room and he's going to be asleep, and YouTube is going to be going. So there's probably half of you that are asleep right now, huh? I try what I can on Facebook, and even if I get one person who said thanks because of your post I got home, that's what it's all about. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, the angry ones. Well, what happened? There was a huge tornado event this was when I was working in Minnesota. We were on air for hours, and it was, tornadoes everywhere, tornadoes on the ground. We got a phone call. Some guy left a message mad because we were covering up some show that I don't even remember what it was, but boy, he was mad. People lost their homes that day. Like, wow, geez. I mean, that doesn't happen very often, but that's just, things like that stick with me. I remember that, but I try not to let it bother me. Let's see, go back to the radar here. So, okay. Some people get angry if a guy sneezes the wrong way. Ain't that the truth? Whoa, what's going on here? Okay, just to kind of rehash, because I'm probably going to shut down here pretty soon, as soon as Jessica's in here, because I need to go home and get some sleep, just in case, because I'm probably going to have to be back at noon tomorrow. But this is your main concern, this storm right here. Okay, so Houston. And this is all going to be moving due east. I mean, it is. And it's going to have anywhere from 60 to possibly 90 mile per hour winds. And so this is our main concern right now. You notice the pinks are kind of not as prevalent. That doesn't matter. The wind is still in there. Even though the rain might not be as heavy, or there may not be as much hail, the wind is still in there. So keep that in mind. So there's that, and then we've got these pockets of strong storms. Like that one right there, here, heavy rain, storms. Now it's quiet right here. This is the alleyway for this storm right here. It's more like that. So that's the concern. You're going to have all of those storms north of that one line that will be isolated, severe every now and then. And that one bowling ball of a storm headed towards McCook right now is going to make its way between those lines somewhere. It might stay north, it might stay south along the border, but there's that clearing, that path. That's just like it sees it's wide open. It's just like running through those lines. So and it probably will be a good idea if you live in McCook to take shelter soon, because that storm is headed right to McCook. what? Okay, so Trenton, Culbertson, Palisade, Hayes Center. Oh, I think there's Jessica now. Hey, hello. All right, I'm on YouTube, so I'm gonna sign off. Jessica's got you guys covered. And I'm gonna go home. Stay safe, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.